I'm going back to 1776. At a time when the whole Muslim world was down in the gutters. 1776. Edward Gibbon, the master historian, he wrote his encyclopedia called The Decline and Fall of the Roman Empire. 1776. And in it, his encyclopedia, he says that the creed of Muhammad, the idea, the philosophy, the principles of the teachings of this man, Muhammad, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, is free from the suspicions of ambiguity. And the Quran is a glorious testimony to the unity of God. This is coming from the mouth of the Westerner, the Christian. He says that. Edward Gibbon. Ambiguity. Having more than one possible meaning to a thing. You say something and you mean one thing and you also mean something else. Ambiguity. You're not very clear cut. Islam, he says, the creed of Muhammad is free from that. There's no ambiguity. It's clear cut, straightforward. Anything what it says, it stands for what it says. It has no dual meanings. When the Christian would say, it says, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost, says these three are not three, but one. Now there's ambiguity. No, Islam has no such things. To give you a crude example of ambiguity, when you use some words and you mean something else, I give an example of a lady who says that no man is good enough for her. A woman, who says no man is good enough for me, she says. So we say she may be right and she may be left. She may be right and she may be left. She may be left on the shelf. She may never get a husband. You see? But now I say she may be right and she may be left. It's got double meaning. Can you see? Double. That's ambiguity. In Islam, the creed of Muhammad, according to Gibbon, has no ambiguity. Clear cut, straightforward. If it says one, it's one. Indivisible, indivisible. In his quality and his nature is absolutely unique. When he says unique, he is unique. There's nothing like him that you can think or imagine. Then, some years later, in 1854, Lamartine, a French historian, he wrote the history of the Turks. And the Turks, incidentally being Muslims, he started speaking about our Nabi Kareem Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, the Holy Prophet Muhammad, and his concept of God. And this is what he says in his book, The History of the Turks. The idea of the unity of God, proclaimed amidst the exhaustion of fabulous theologies, was in itself such a miracle that upon its utterance from his lips, it destroyed all the ancient superstitions. His endless prayers, his mystic conversations with God, his death and his triumph after death, all these attest not to an imposture but to a firm conviction which gave him the power to restore a dogma. This dogma was twofold, based on the unity of God and the immateriality of God. His unity, and he's not a material being. He's not physical. And the immateriality of God. The former telling what God is, and the latter telling what God is not. What he is and what he is not. And coming to modern days, modern times, this current affairs.